COP. And there were four main things that people were looking for from this COP meeting as the countries of the world get together. Now, the first one of those was to think about the target set in Paris of limiting the temperature rise to 1.5 degrees, or certainly well below 2 degrees. And so what progress has been made there? Well, the countries of the world promise that what they will do, and these are called their nationally determined contributions. And if you add all those up, unfortunately, it still means a temperature rise, even if they keep to them, of 2.7 degrees. So way over the Paris targets. But then there's been some pledges by the various countries and agreements that they will do various things on forests, on coal, and on helping each other, and on methane as well, which is another greenhouse gas. And if you believe all those, then maybe the temperature rise would actually be limited to about 1.9. That's the sort of calculation. But as Greta Thunberg said, they go blah, 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 and they might say this in Glasgow, but are they going to do it when they go home? And it's really the nationally determined contributions is what they will do. That's what they've said they will do. And the others at the moment are so-called pledges, but will they be carried out? So that's on the Paris targets. The next thing is to think the so-called Paris rulebook, which sounds very, very dull, but that really says how will it all work. And so there's negotiations behind the scenes on that, and it all seems to be working. But to give you an idea of how important that is, the one that's a sticking point at the moment is transparency. How much are you going to let other countries come into your country and see exactly what you're doing, not what you say you're doing, or what are you doing. So that's the Paris rulebook, which is still up for grabs. The next one, the third one, is plans for adaptation. Whatever we do, climate is going to keep on changing for a while around the world, and so each country is meant to come forward for plans for adaptation. And that's going to be on Monday, this coming Monday. At the moment, there's been very little about adaptation, and many countries of the world, particularly the poorer ones, are needing to adapt already to the climate change that we've had, and they need help in doing that. And that comes to the fourth one, which is there was a pledge that the richer countries would create a climate fund to help the poorer countries of $100 million per year. And this was going to happen by 2020. Well, it's 2021 and it still hasn't happened. And the poorer countries are saying, come on, live up to this if you expect to do something. And there is now, it seems from the discussions, that we may reach that target by 2021 or 2022. So it has improved, and over the 5-year period, it is hoped there really will be 500 billion from the richer countries to the poorer countries, along with know-how to help them both leapfrog in the technologies in their development and also to adapt to climate change. So that's the sort of rundown on the COP. The leaders of the world have gone home, some flying by jet to a dinner down in London, but anyway, the leaders have gone home, leading the negotiators to get on with it, and that will continue this week. And then there's already a draft communique at the end of the meeting, and that will be worked on and finalised for the leaders, certainly some to come back and sign that at the end of the week. So watch this space to see just how much they really are going to do. Now, this day of action here for climate justice, you might be able to see this. This is UN Sustainability Goals. And number 13 is climate justice. And that's what this day is about very much, is climate justice. And in particular in the UK, we're trying to concentrate on, is it just blah, 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 or do we mean it? And in particular in fossil fuels. In coal, we've got to stop using that completely. We've got to phase out oil within the next decade and gas within a few decades. And certainly we need no more coal mines, we need no more oil and gas. There's more than enough already known for us to use. So we do not need any more of that. And the UK, despite what it is saying there in the international sphere, is actually still leaving open development of a new coal mine and a new gas and oil field. And we feel this is just wrong. The other thing is the subsidies. Around the world, the subsidies for fossil fuels are many times the subsidies for the renewables. And this is true in the UK, if you actually work out the tax given back to companies. So we have to move away from that. So that's the three things on the petition. So I hand back to Heather now, who's going to lead on the vigil.